Hey everybody, it's Josh. I've been hitting another stumbling block, not for my own faith, but for those that I am trying to guide to a relationship with Christ. And it is the same one that I kept hitting. It is the same one I still keep seeing so many stumble across. Stumble and fall and are often not able to get back up. And that is pride. Pride that manifests in so many different ways. But the main way it does manifest is that we want to be special. We want to create God in our image. We don't want to be created in God's image. We don't want to be subject to any rules or commandments or laws, because these things we've maybe spent our lives, just like I have done, railing against. I don't need nobody telling me what to do. I do what I want when I want. I want freedom. It is a very American concept. We want freedom. What we don't understand is there is no freedom without Jesus Christ. There is no freedom without God. There is only servitude to an unknown master, a master who does not love you, a master whose only goal is to see you burning in the same pits of hell that he is burning in. But people do not recognize it. And it is a very difficult situation because we get caught in this pride, thinking that we know everything ourselves, that we are somehow so special, so much smarter than everyone, so much more intellectual and logical. And how could these small-minded people that call themselves Christians not get it? Not get how stupid they are. And so we get the evangelical atheist. We get the evangelical atheist who laughs and they mock. And they want only to see you suffer the way that they suffer. But they will never admit that they suffer. No. They might have admitted they suffered before, and they blamed God, and that's what led them away from the ridiculousness of Christianity and religion. The psychology of an atheist is that of a non-believer, is that of most Christians. We are prideful, we are narcissistic. But a lot of times it stems from abandonment. It stems from abuse, neglect. It stems from not getting the love that we need. But let me tell you, no matter how much your mommy and daddy might have loved you, I had amazing parents who loved me more than I could possibly have hoped for. I had family and friends who all loved me. But when times got tough, and when they began to get old, my parents began to get older, get sick, waste away, die off, that's when I realized that love, it might have been enough to make me last for as long as I did, but it wasn't going to sustain me. The fact that you were loved at one point in your life, or you were not loved one point in your life, it makes no difference when the crap hits the fan. It makes no difference when you finally are marching into the quicksand up to your waist, up to your chest, up to your neck. And suddenly you find you can't move. You can't go back the way you came. You can't go forward. You're stuck right where you are. The only thing you can do is cry out. Plead. Please, someone help me. Someone show me mercy. Show me love in my greatest time of need. We all require the love that Jesus Christ offers. Absolutely, we can survive without it. I'm not saying that it's not possible to survive without it, because we feel that love in a lesser way, but we keep clinging to these little things to give us purpose and meaning in life. We keep clinging to these little things to give us hope. And yeah, you can drag yourself a few more inches, a few more feet maybe, in that quicksand before life swallows you up. Or before you just submit to the quicksand. Before you submit to the void, to the darkness, and accept it. And that's the point where Satan, he no longer cares. He already has you. You're working for him now. Whether you understand it or not, he doesn't give a damn. He doesn't care whether you know that you worship him. Are you kidding me? If that's what he relied upon, he would have barely anyone serving him. All he cares about is another soul. Another damned soul down there burning beside of him. Because that is what we equate. That is what we think love is just someone burning beside of us. Not caring about us, not giving a damn whether we live or we die. Except for, yeah, I guess there is a selfish need for us to live, so we're not as lonely. Someone join us in our bad choices. Someone join us in this darkness. Because we're terrified of the dark. We're all little kids inside. We're terrified of it. And atheists, especially, they are definitely, studies have shown they are more analytical minded than religious people. But studies have also shown that their analytical mind lead them to a bias that they cannot overcome. That bias is that they can't see their own bias. They have a blind spot. It's pride. You can be the wisest person who's ever lived, like King Solomon was, and walk away from God and be miserable. Be absolutely tortured in life. Until at the very end of his life, finally Solomon understood the only joy, the only peace, the only love comes from, he says, fear of God. But you see, people don't understand that. It is mistranslated. Fear in that sense, in that translation, in the original Hebrew, means awe. To live in awe of God. To be at his beck and call. To be one with the Maker, the author of life, the Lord of everything. That is true meaning. That is true purpose, love, peace, hope, understanding in life. Atheists, they will not see unless God allows them to see. Because they've hardened their hearts so much. And oftentimes I feel so awful for them because they had no choice in the matter. They were broken at such a young age. And by broken, I mean they had their hearts broken. They had their spirits broken. And that is the same with many Christians. That is the same with many non-believers who are still worshiping God in other ways, usually selfish ways. We are just children begging for attention, wanting to be special. I see it over and over. People sending me videos about, asking me, what do I think about this? And it's people who call themselves Christians who says, are you a chosen one? About the chosen ones. And I used to watch things like this when I was first saved. I was like, obviously, I'm a chosen one. God talked to me. God came to me in a profound way. I don't see anybody else getting that profound revelation of God. So I must be a chosen one. I must be special. I must be better than everyone else. I must be holier than thou. And what happened when I started to think these things? Instantly, God humbled me every single time. Oh, you're so blessed. You're so special. Are you? Because let me say this. First of all, we are special. Every single one of you is special because we are loved unconditionally by God. And that unconditionally does not mean what you think. It does not mean you can continually work against God and expect to feel His love and the benefits of it. No, you can have children who turn out to be serial, people who take others' lives, monsters. You will still love them, but they've turned away from you. They turned away from all that's good. And unless you are doing it for selfish reasons, you allow them to pay their punishment, to be punished for their crimes. There's some parents who don't. Maybe they think, oh, I failed as a parent. I allowed them to become this monster, and so I will do everything I can to keep them out of prison. I will do everything I can to not make them pay for the evil they've embraced. But we are special. God loves us with a transcending love that is above anything of this world. Remember that always. Don't let it get you prideful. Because God humbled me. And He showed me, really. So I'm so blessed. I have constant pain from the top of my spine, even my shoulders, all the way down to the tip of my right toe. Shooting, stabbing pain, like being tortured. Sometimes it's so bad, it's like an actual knife, just the tip of a knife scraping along my spine. And I'm so blessed that I have people sick and dying all around me. And I'm so blessed of all these things. Guess what? That is a blessing. Why? Because those things led me to become humbled. They humbled me. They led me to humility. And that humility is the only way my eyes were opened. The only way I was ever genuine in crying out for the Lord, in repenting for my life going astray, for not taking God seriously at all in my adult life. Not thinking that God would ever intervene in my life. Because unless you've seen something in work, unless you've seen God directly intervene in your life, where it's without a shadow of a doubt, then you will have these doubts that push you away from Him. I try to tell everyone that I talk to, all of you, my family and friends, the strangers I meet, that I don't tell you my testimony, I don't tell you my story over and over again, because I am trying to show you how much more special I am than you. It's the exact opposite. I tell you this so you will see that a life that was as worthless, as broken, and as absolutely I did not want to live in it, a life that I didn't want to live. I show you this, I tell you these things to help you understand that if God showed love, showed mercy to a life that it was as worthless as mine, to someone as broken as me, He will show love to you. And we see it over and over in the scriptures. We see it over and over and over again. The story of Jonah and the Ninevites. The Ninevites were awful people. And God kept telling His prophet Jonah to go and preach to them and tell them to repent. And Jonah hated them. They were evil. He kept saying, I'd rather die. But yet, even though they were evil, even for that day, which is saying a lot, because this is a time during child sacrifice and temple, things I can't say on YouTube. These were especially evil times, and these were an especially evil people during especially evil times. And God showed mercy on them. King David, King Solomon, Peter, Paul, all great examples of evil or broken people who God showed that amazing grace to. The song Amazing Grace, it sums up. It's probably one of the most beautiful things ever written. I was lost and now I'm found. I was blind and now I see. Amazing grace saved a wretch like me. That's what you all have to understand. I see people fighting all the time. Unfortunately, I have it in my live streams. People arguing. People so mad at each other. And I'm not talking about atheists and Muslims versus Christians. I'm talking about people who are there to listen to the gospel. People who are there to listen to the truth. And there's people getting so mad at each other. Why? Why do I go into every single church and see this drama? These cliques and these, I'm better than you. I know more about the Bible than you. I'm better. Because I'm more special. It's pride. It's hubris, arrogance, narcissism. But we have to understand that Christians, especially the churches, are just as much a part of this world as everyone else. And we are told not to love the things of this world, but still be in the world, but to love God and His creation. So how do we love people that are of the world, of the moral, broken, fallen world, and how do we love people who are part of God's creation? How do we love our enemies who are actively working against us, actively working against everything we believe in? A lot of people think that we need to be pushovers. A lot of people think it's just, oh, you just live and let live. Just let them live however they want. Don't judge, because Jesus told us not to judge ever. He did. And then you read on in that same chapter in Matthew, and it says to judge righteously. Yes, we must not judge, because we are supposed to take the log out of our eye before judging the splinter or speck in our neighbor's eye. But we don't do that. We don't. I have plenty of stuff to judge myself on. Plenty of reasons why I'm not the kind of Christian, I'm not the kind of servant to Christ that I strive to be. And every single day I strive to improve myself. Every single day I fall short. And you have to remember, in the churches, it's going to be the same. A large majority of those people, unfortunately, are not in a relationship with Christ and probably never will be, because they cannot get over themselves. They cannot get over the fact that their narcissism and their pride says that they need to be more special. Look at me, says the toddler throwing a fit, says the toddler yelling in class. I was the young kid who would always crack jokes, always make everyone laugh because I needed that attention. I was starved for it. And man, when people were laughing at me, when sometimes even teachers were laughing at me, I was like, oh yeah, eat it up. Eat that attention up. I love it. I love that people were looking at me, even if it's for something bad, even if they were mad at me, at least they were paying attention to me. And that's what, people who walk into a school and end the lives of the people there, these monstrous people, they don't care whether they get good attention. It's like the old saying goes, all press is good press. There is no such thing as bad press. It doesn't matter. As long as someone's reading the paper, watching the news. We are children. And it's okay, because Jesus Christ says we must come to Him as children. We must embrace that brokenness. We must even embrace the part of us that gives us that pride, that gives us that need to be watched and to be special and to be looked at. And I promise you, that need to be special, Jesus will make you feel more special than you've ever felt in your entire life. The devil can't make you feel that way. The devil will give you the attention you want, will put the eyes on you for sure. Only Jesus Christ will love you with a love that completely changes your entire life. So the atheists, so the non-believers, so the Christians who do not really have a relationship with Christ, you know who you are. I'm not judging you. I don't say these things ever to judge you. I usually say them from past experience or from experience right now. I am still prideful. I pray to God every single day, especially before I do these videos. I pray to Him to help me serve His glory and not my own. Because you don't think that even the little bit of attention I've gotten from doing these videos, it's amazing to me. I'm still amazed that people even watch these videos. But it's not me. They didn't come on here to watch me. Come on here to witness someone who has changed completely. Someone whose life, when you look at it from an outsider perspective, it looks like you don't want any part of that. No way. People say, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you've been cursed like this. I'm so sorry you've been dealt such a bad hand. And I tell them, what are you talking about? I am absolutely blessed. They're like, what do you mean? Both of your parents are sick, maybe dying. Your dog just died. Your other dog might not have long to live. Your uncle's probably dying. You're in pain all the time. You live in poverty. I say I am blessed. I am the wealthiest man in the world, by far. I would not trade my life with Christ, my relationship with Jesus Christ, for Elon Musk's wealth in life, or any of the ultra-rich people in this world. I don't care how stupid you think that sounds. I don't care how stupid anyone thinks that sounds. Because they do not have a wealth like me. They do not have a meaning and a purpose like me. And look, many of them do amazing things. They're innovators, they are inventors. Some of them actually make medicines that will help people, cure cancer. Amazing things. And I am thankful for that, for sure. But they don't have what I have. And I don't care if they don't see that, if nobody can see that, because it is a personal relationship with Christ. And I know that my entire mission in life, my entire purpose outside of that relationship with Christ, or an extension of that relationship with Christ, it is to go and to find anyone who is trapped in their own personal hell. To bring them the love that Christ gives me and to offer it to them. Take the amazing wealth that Christ has given me and spread it around, because it only grows larger as I spread it. This is a wealth I gladly give away. Now, don't get me wrong, especially in the beginning. I give the analogy of when there's turbulence in an airplane and those air masks fall. You must put your air mask on first before helping others. You must learn to love yourself and forgive yourself and allow yourself to be loved, to accept that love of Jesus Christ before you ever try to help anyone else. And if you skip that part where you learn to love yourself, not in a narcissistic way, in the least, it sounds weird, love yourself in a selfless way. If you skip that part, it's going to be a disaster. You're going to be humbled, for sure. But you're going to be humbled anyway. You're going to be humbled over and over and over again. Just as the apostles were, just as the disciples were, just as every single figure in the Bible was humbled. Even Jesus Christ. He had to be the most humble. His humility was stuff of absolute legend because it is only obtainable by God himself. And he knows that you cannot live up to his standard. I say it all the time. We can never be like Christ, but we can always strive to be more Christ-like. I don't care if you're an atheist, a Mormon, a Jehovah's Witness, a Muslim, The love of Jesus Christ is waiting for you. If you don't want it, that's absolutely your choice. Because God will never force himself upon you. Ever. But if you choose to accept it, I promise you, your life will never be the same. You will find a transcending love and a peace beyond all understanding. All right, everybody. I got to get out of here, go to the store, run some errands. I love you guys so much. Please leave a comment. It's been a little bit longer for me to get to them this week. I've just been not getting much sleep. You know, my poor puppy passing away, my old pup. But I will hopefully get back on a regular schedule soon and start being able to get to your comments. And if you are having a problem that is an emergency or something like this, I will do everything I can to get to it as soon as I can. And if you need to reach out to me personally, please let me know. I cannot usually talk on the phone, but if it's something like, I spoke to one brother who was dealing with stage 4 cancer. Situations like this, absolutely, if you need to talk, I will I will go out and sit in my car or sit in my room or something if I have to talk to you. I love you guys so much. I know it can never be as much as Jesus Christ loves you. Oh, almost dropped my phone. It can never be to that extent. But I will strive to show you a fraction, at least, of how much he loves you. Just by reflecting the love that he gives me. By taking the love that he gives me and spreading that wealth. And I urge all of you to please do the same. Please do the same. We are all lost. We are all children of God. And we are all in need of attention to feel special. It doesn't make us bad people, but it does keep us from God's love. All right, I love you guys so much. God bless you.